eyes, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.
Alright guys, welcome back to the Mokey channel, your channel in terms of gold format, content and Yu-Gi-Oh! Old school stuff. So today I have brought you an amazing deck profile, something I have been working for very long, and I've wanted to showcase this deck for a very long time, but I have been changing this profile a little bit for a month already. Very unfortunate that Sam Cox posted a deck profile 1 week before this deck was shot now with this camera. That is very similar, or a little bit similar, not very much similar, but it has a few same ideas, and I have been in contact with him. I told him about it as I was going to shoot this video, and I have created over a month now also replays for this deck because I wanted to make a replay montage. So I'm not trying to steal any credit for him, and I don't think he stole anything from me, so let's get this out of the way right in front. And of course our decks have differences, that's also right off the front, so nobody stole from anyone here. It's just unfortunate that two creative players had similar ideas at the same time, I guess. So yeah, so if you enjoy my content, guys, please leave a like and a sub and a comment to this channel here, to this video. It helps tremendously to push our goals. We're trying to get to 200 subs now, so let's get this before Christmas or I will be sad, man. So let's jump into this amazing deck profile. I call this deck Total Banishment or Total Anarchy because this deck is trying to banish every card in our graveyard. We are playing free Bazoo, he takes care of our monsters in our graveyard. We are playing free Chaos Gustav Rider, he takes care of the spells in our graveyard. He's a warrior, he's searchable, which comes in handy, which is very useful. Then of course, as you have seen, this is very aggressive because Bazoo, if he just banishes one card, he's 1900. If Gustav banishes one card, 1700. If they banish more, 2000, 2200, 2500. Very aggressive starters. And then we keep on with our aggression and also with our banish theme. didnt, Assailant, very good card. Spot removal works brilliantly in this deck. didnt Warrior Lady, also a warrior, searchable, spot removal, banishment theme, very nice. Exile Force, also aggressive, spot removal, anything we want to get rid of. It's just a normal summon, perfect, searchable. Then we have Blade Knight, of course, he is not like a spot removal card in itself, but he's very good against flip effects. He can be 2000, which is very huge, and can be aggressive in late game, which is very nice, and we like that. Of course, one breaker for spot removal as spell and trap cards. We need that to break through sometimes. And then we have our Cyberjar. And Cyberjar is very important in this deck because we don't want to refresh by this our hand, but we want to what we want to do is sometimes we want to nuke the board, and then we also want to bring out more aggressive monsters that can push our graveyard to the banish zone, basically. So if it didn't work out like the way we wanted, Cyberjar is a very good card to come back because it can summon Bazoo and Chaos Rider Gustav at the same time, and also most likely the monsters we are going to summon are going to be more aggressive than our opponents, which comes in very handy because this deck in itself, as you can see, is very aggressive from their monster lineup. And yeah, drawing 5 cards can be a way to push for game if it's a very aggressive deck. You will see later why. One green Maju. What I have to say, 400 for each banish cards. If you have 10 banish cards, he's 4000. He gets big so fast in this deck, not only because of Bazoo and Chaos Rider Gustav, and we get later into this. So we start over with our spells. Trinity, of course, very standard, and then same idea. Sam Cox had, Chaos Greed. So basically, if you have a 3 graveyard and 4 banished cards, you can use this as another pot of greed. And this is going to happen in this deck a few times. Because you are going to banish your graveyard. 3 Charismatic Gustav searchable, Bazoo with 3 times in your deck, you will get him consistently. Also because your deck thins itself out by Rodas and by Pot of Greed and Graceful Charity and by Cyberjar, you will most likely get it. And of course, yeah, then we have the 2 Rodas, as I've already spoiled. Snatch, Mystical, Heavy Storm. 3 books, as we don't play any traps, because traps will stay in our graveyard and we don't want cards to stay in our graveyard, we want to banish them. So we use the most versatile card we can. It's Book of Moon. It can be used aggressively and passively, and it works wonders. And sometimes if we brick a little bit and we need to take a bit of time, we need to lean a little back, we play 3 Scapegoats. This takes us to the level where we can also lean a little bit back in our aggression and say, okay, let's calm down, we need to maybe collect another card before we can push through, and this gives us time. Yes, and then we can see another difference that my deck has, why it's more aggressive 3 times the Chaos End. Right, so if you have more than 7 banish card, you can play this card anytime, and it's basically a dark hole. So 7 banish cards equals 3 dark holes in your deck. In a deck that only plans to banish all the time, it's a very useful card. And now you're in your head, it's like, wait, but you're only playing Chaos Gustav, you're only playing Bazoo, but Sam Cox was also playing Banisher what's the name of the 2000 defense name? Banish with Radiance? No, that was Banish with Radiance, the 1600 guy that's not been printed yet. Yeah, the Banish guy with 2000 defense points, but what I do is play 3 Soul Release. So, in terms of why 3 Soul Release, if you ever misplay or for any reason your deck did not perform as it should have been, and you collected too many cards in the graveyard and you can't seem to get through because you want to use Chaos Greed, but yeah, you just have no way, but then you can suddenly open up your whole game because you draw Soul Release, and Soul Release is so useful because you can banish 5 cards, and 5 cards mean a lot for this deck. 5 cards is like almost Chaos End, and also you can banish in your opponent's graveyard, which sometimes, not every time you want to do this, because you are playing a certain card that I will show you now, but sometimes you can break your opponent's game by this as well, which is really nice. And of course the last card is 3-Dimension Fusion. This is also an OTK variant. This is also trying to go for game very quickly. We are not only going to break your board, we're not only going to nuke your board all the time, we're not only going to attack you with a lot of high attack monsters, but we're going to bring out our bench monsters very fast. We're going to look to end this very quickly, and we are going to have a really staple defense on our side with 3 Scapegoats and 3 Book of Moons to defend ourselves. And the longer a game takes, the more likely we're going to get at some point a green Maju that is so big that it's going to decide the game on its own. Never forget that. So yes, so by any means this deck is not a top contender deck. It's not a tier 1 deck. This is a tournament win deck, but it is fun as hell. It's so amazingly fun. And of course, if you ask Tom, if Tom's like Tom, who's Tom? No. If you ask Sam Cox, he said in his deck profile that he's going to try to get his deck to a tournament, which sounds exciting to me, because I would like to see how like a deck like with this Banishment plan does in a tournament environment, because I had not the luxury to test that. But in terms of what I think, what it does is, like, I think it will surprise some people, and it will get a few wins, of course, because warriors in banishment decks in themselves are just something that inherently somehow works. And yeah, a guy that just plays aggressively will someday pick up wins. That is also true. But in terms of consistency, in terms of variety, there are decks, of course, that has much more to give. So, in terms of like, if you really want to, if you wanted me to put a tier on this deck, I couldn't do it, man. I don't know. I couldn't say it yet, but it would not be very high, because performance-wise, I know it has some problems in the brick area. It can have that, like if you draw from the beginning 3 chaos end. Yeah, man, that sucks. You will not win this game. But if you have just wonders, then it will become alive very quickly. Same goes for if you open up 3 Dimension Fusion or something like this. That sucks as well. If you open up 3 scapegoats, okay, you can stall a lot of time with that most likely, but it's not going to be nice. Yeah, but other decks that are strong have these problems as well, so it's not like this deck is a deck that would brick all the time. It's like this deck can have this option to have dead cards, because like 3 stone release or 3 of these at the same time is shit. But if you play Chaos Control or Chaos Turbo and you open 3 Chaos Doors, right, you're not going to have a nice time as well. So yeah, I think this deck needs exploring. I think it needs more variants to be tested, like Sam Cox does. I think we have much more to give and to explore in Gold format than a lot of people think, and I hope you enjoyed and yeah, you like this deck profile. That's it for me, guys. Mokey Senpai out.